I made this video exclusively for those who don't know who the new Titan is that appeared in Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire, the same Titan with ice powers that froze Kong's axe in the sea in Rio de Janeiro. So if you have doubts about whether he is stronger than Godzilla or if you want to know where he was all this time, come with me to the end of this video and I'll introduce you to Titanus Shimo, the father of all Titans. Welcome back to Nerds Insights, your channel for daily nerd news. Millions of years ago, a powerful being from space collided with Earth. To be more specific, with the core of the Hollow Earth. This impact was so great that from this Titan, the energy of the Hollow Earth was created. The radiation released by Shimo was so strong that the beings that inhabited that place had to adapt to survive. Some changed in appearance, diet, natural habitat, while others simply evolved into gigantic monsters, and others into titans. That's why Titanus Shimo is called the father of the titans, because it was from him that, in quotes, life in the Hollow Earth began. So before we dive deeper into the story of the most powerful monster in the MONSTERVERSE so far, subscribe to this channel with the notification bell activated. There's a lot of content from Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire coming, and I'm sure you won't want to miss it for anything. Did you notice that I said this was the story of the most powerful monster in the MONSTERVERSE? That's what the supposed leaked script of Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire informs us. Legendary conducted about 5 or 6 test screenings for Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. If you don't know what a test screening is, it's when the company, the producer, or the creators of the film invite some random people off the streets or some film critics to give feedback on how the film is doing. They check if the CGI is pleasing, if the sad parts are touching the audience, if the jump scares are working. It's more for them to have feedback to see if there's anything to fix, keep or improve. Legendary conducted about 6 test screenings. In all the test screenings, some information leaked, mainly about Titanus Shimo, which says that he is an alien titan that fell into the Hollow Earth, thus beginning the Titan era. But what catches our attention the most, besides him being the father of all titans, are the details about his powers, which are absurdly strong, as we can see in the trailer. He doesn't have the power to control and manipulate ice. He has the power to create ice, meaning the ice comes from within him, as if he were the ice itself. What stands out the most is the expansion, variety and magnitude of his powers. Among them, the freezing breath he uses on Kong stands out, which will probably freeze his axe. He also uses it in the sky, freezing practically the entire sky and a part of the sea in Brazil. But what catches our attention the most is the power of mass freezing. It is said in the supposed leaked script that Shimo was the one who initiated the ice age on the planet. So all the ice we have, glaciers, North Pole, South Pole, Antarctica, Alaska, all of this was because of Shimo. In an attempt to freeze the planet, his powers got out of control and he ended up freezing himself, thus becoming trapped in his own powers. This would explain why he has never appeared until now and why no one has ever found him. We can see that these frozen parts, some icy biomes, will be important, especially because Pink Godzilla emerges from one of these icy places. We don't know exactly where it is, probably Antarctica, which will be very important. But we saw in the trailer that Shimo doesn't seem to be trapped in the ice. He seems to be in a cave behind a lot of lava. So it could be that this information from the supposed leaked script is false or has been changed by Legendary throughout the development of the film. In my opinion, I think it was indeed changed. I think they changed their minds and left only Monster Zero frozen. I've already made a complete video about this theory, but to summarize it, it is said that Monster Zero, King Ghidorah, is a titan that is not from Earth. He is an alien titan, and Shimo also being an alien titan. It's possible that both of them crashed on Earth together, and in the middle of this fight, Shimo may have used this freezing explosion and frozen both himself and King Ghidorah, and they both got trapped in the ice. This would explain how Monster Zero was frozen, because to freeze a 3-headed, immensely powerful dragon that shoots rays of that size, you need something very, very, very strong, very cold to freeze him, and Titanus Shimo would explain that. But I think they ended up changing that. Another possibility is that Scar King himself found Shimo. I've also made a complete theory about Scar King's plan, which is also up here in the card, but to summarize it as well, Scar King may have found Shimo, taken him to that cave where there seems to be lava. It seems to be very hot there, to be able to thaw that ice and bring Titanus Shimo back. In this way, Titanus Shimo sees Scar King as a kind of ally, friendship, and they join forces. There is still a third theory that is the most likely to happen, that Titanus Shimo is a female titan. This rumor started to grow a lot and generate a lot of discussion in the Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire and MONSTERVERSE communities in general, and after a supposed official confirmation, because Legendary and Warren have not confirmed yet, but it's very strong, very likely to be real. Titanus Shimo is actually a female titan, and that would explain why she obeys Scar King, because an alpha of Titanus Shimo's power would not obey another alpha, right? We know that's not how it works. There's no gratitude between these monsters. It's either alpha or beta. There's only one alpha, so it wouldn't make sense for 2 alphas to be sharing the same main throne, so it would make much more sense if Shimo were a female Titan. That would perfectly explain how Scar King can control her. It's simply because she is not an Alpha Titan but a female Titan that can be controlled by an Alpha Titan like Scar King. Remembering that none of this has been confirmed yet, we will only have this confirmation when we watch the movie. This is a supposed leaked script from the test screenings. It could be true, it could be false, but so far, the supposed leaked script has been right about many of the things that have been disclosed, both in the trailer and the images. I've also brought the full supposed leaked script here on the channel. There will also be a card up here for you to see. Another thing that makes me quite curious about Shimo is that all the official materials that have been released of him show him with a different appearance. In some, he seems to be some kind of turtle, very cute, and in others, he seems to be a dragon, more evolved. So there could be two possibilities. There could be two different Shimos, two Titanus Shimos, which I believe is very unlikely, or Titanus Shimo could evolve, because otherwise, it doesn't make sense to have two different faces of Shimo being officially disclosed at the same time, so he will probably evolve. So did you already know Titanus Shimo? If not, comment what you thought of his story and what you would change. How do you think the Titanus Shimo would be better? And of course, subscribe to the channel here to continue receiving our videos with the bell activated, and of course, leave a like if you like this information. See you later, alligator.